I want you to reach back into your expertise to answer this next question on the art of the return. How does a kid return a punt for positive yards, even for a touchdown? And BYU's guys can listen to this and learn from the master. But what is the art of a punt return?
I grew up boxing. My dad was training me in his master plan in our immigration that we'd make our living with me boxing. That's all he knew. My dad was not educated, neither was my mother. But so I started training, and I was fighting since I was 7 years old when I arrived, and all the way up until I started high school. The reason why there's a connection there is that if you think about it, making somebody miss in boxing is, bobbing and weaving and head fakes, and it's that. It's not jumping out of the way. It's head movement, and it's when I started playing football, I realized that it's the exact same thing that you do when you have the ball in your hands in open field. You're not jumping. It's a shake. It's head movement. It's how you make people miss, and I became really good at it. I've never forgotten this. Blaine and I spent a lot of time, commiserating because, we're both backups. And I actually went in and told Lavelle that I wanted to quit. And he said to me, I never forget this. He said to me, that'd be the worst mistake in your life. And I'll tell you why. You don't know this, but you're going to play on Sundays. And I said, Coach, I'm not even playing on Saturdays. Who thinks they're going to play on Sundays if they're not playing on Saturdays? And he said, well, you have a very unique skill set, and we don't value it as much here in college football, but at the next level. He says, I'm telling you something that I know a lot about because scouts come in here all the time, and they always ask about you because in the NFL level, a 10-yard return makes a difference in how they call plays and how drives go. I just completely disregarded it. But I was, the other thing that made me really good as a punt returner is that it wasn't that I was I'm fearless. There's not a lot that I'm scared of because I was a boxer, right? One of the first things my dad taught me, which is counterintuitive, when somebody throws a punch, rather than Ali was great at it, but he was tall, he would lean away from it, and the punches would be short. My dad taught me, look, you're short and stocky. You're going to have to lean. Every time somebody punches, it's counterintuitive, but you got to lean into it and duck while you lean towards a punch. So my point is, I was never fearful on the field. And when the other thing that happened that worked for me is that I wasn't playing on the offense. So every time they punted or kicked the ball, I felt like it was a carry. So I'd be curious to look up BYU stats from the 80s. I bet you I had 5 fair catches in the 4 years that I was at BYU.
Oh, you weren't fair catching the ball. That you weren't going to fair catch it.
I rarely fair caught the ball because I was trying to make a statement to Mike Holmgren and Norm Chow and Ted Tollner, and I didn't have to make it to Lavelle because Lavelle understood. But I was just so angry all the time that I wasn't playing, and I felt like I should have been playing. But Lavelle just kept, telling me, "Hey, listen, just relax. We're going to do you a favor." Turns out that they did me a huge favor. I got to the NFL, and guess what? I had fresh legs. I got to the NFL and had, I hadn't been worn down from carrying the ball 20 times a game. And I played another decade in the league because of it. So